All right, what's going on, guys? Tommy Lee here, and I am super pumped. KSP2 mods are starting to roll in. So in this video, I want to have a quick discussion and backstory about the mod loaders for KSP2, and then we'll get into how to install the mods and the dependencies with the mod loaders for the mods. And then in the third part, we'll walk through the mods I'm using and the ones that we're going to install today. As you can see here, I have a completely fresh set. I'm going to download them on the video and install them on the video so you can actually see it done and see it working and hopefully follow it step by step. So the backstory here. So BepInEx, as you can see, if you've installed mods from KSP1, you know what BepInEx is. It's a mod loader. There might be other ones that I'm not aware of, but to my knowledge, BepInEx is the one that's used for most of the KSP mods. So naturally, one was made for KSP2, but right when KSP2 was released, another group of modders created one called Space Warp, as you can see right here. And that is another mod loader. Now, I don't mod. I couldn't give you the details about the differences. I think from what I've read, Space Warp is supposed to be more KSP2 friendly, like specifically to KSP2, whereas BepInEx is more overall developed, obviously, because Space Warp is brand new and BepInEx is years old. But I don't want to get into which one should be used, which one shouldn't be used. Essentially, on the end users and my end, your end, it's caused a headache for me because some of the mods now are being created for the BepInEx loader, and some of them are being created for the Space Warp loader. And until today or last night, they actually haven't communicated properly together. There's been plugins. I could never get the plugins to work. We finally got a plugin to work today that will let you load both of the mods the same way you would load them if you had them individually, and they'll both work, and it's fully integrated. So the first step, okay, so that's the backstory. I guess I shouldn't jump too far ahead. That's why I'm going to take the extra time to install BepInEx, and we're going to get the Space Warp plugin for BepInEx. That way you can install either Space Warp mods or BepInEx mods. So the first thing we're going to do is BepInEx here. We're going to click download. Okay, it's in my recent downloads, but I had obviously deleted all my downloads. So, and we're going to go ahead and grab the Space Warp, and I'll go ahead and just open up another tab here. The Space Warp plugin for BepInEx. Now, this plugin was not working for me until this pre-release 1. Now, this pre-release 1, I tested all of my mods this morning. I got them all working and communicating fine. It's just not been officially released. I don't know how they're going to feel about me doing this, but when it officially releases and there's an official link for it, I will update the link in the description and then pin a comment to let you know. So you're going to download the Space Warp 0.3.0 BepInEx pre-release zip. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to go ahead and switch back. So we're going to install BepInEx first. Now there's different extractors. For me, it's just drag and drop. For you, you're going to go to the root folder that KSP2 is installed in. For me, I've got 2 drives. It's on my second drive, right? But I've got it installed through Steam. So just find where your root folder is. You'll know it's the root folder because it'll have the KSP2 underscore dash 64 exe. So I'm going to open up the zip and I'm going to drag and drop and extract these in here. Okay. And then the pre-release I'm gonna do the same thing into the root folder. This won't replace what's in these subfolders. It's just going to merge them. So I'm gonna drop both of those in there. Now, both BepInEx and Space Warp, once you boot the game, create subfolders. We just, from the Space Warp plugin, we created the plugin folder, and we could technically in the Space Warp folder create the subfolder, but I think it's best practice to boot the game at this point to let the mod loader create the folder. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So boot the game up. We got the game booted now. So you can tell that Space Warp actually has a mods menu and a hotkey. You can tell it's installed correctly when you see the mods section in the menu pop up. You can see we don't have any mods installed. The hotkey to get to that is Alt-M. Or if you're in the menu, you can just click and unclick mods. But that's all we needed to do for now. Okay, so we're going to quit out of that. And again, guys, I'm going to post, now we're getting into the mod installation part of it. I'm going to post all of these in the description, the links to these. But this part is super important. This is where it gets a little tricky. The first one I want to install is IVA Mod. That's the one that lets you go first person. Okay, you can see uses BepInEx modloader. If you look at the description for these mods, this is the part you have to pay attention to at this point, because this determines where you load the mod. So for this one, it's BepInEx. So we're going to click download. Come back to downloads. There's my IVA mod. Now, again, this merges. So all you have to do is drag and drop this in there. You could also go into the folder and into the plugins and then manually drop it in that way, which is exactly what just happened. There's my IVA plugin. There's the Space Warp plugin. Okay, but you don't need to. You can just drag and drop. It'll merge with 7-zip. It'll merge it right there. It won't replace it. And I'm going to go ahead and just grab all of the mods right now. So I wanted to, at the very least, show you an example of the different mod loaders and how to check and where to look for which mod loader you're going to need to use. So the next one, custom flags. The rest of these are actually Space Warp. But we'll go back. Let's just click on custom flags instead of the link. The rest I'll use the link. So you can see uses oh my god, I can't talk. Space Warp as loader. So that's how you know. You're going to look in the information section. So some of them will have it in there, as you saw for the IVA one. It just said, you know, you could see BepInEx in parentheses. You're going to click download. There we go. We'll come back. Okay, there's custom flags. Now, custom flags has an extra step. There's already some videos on how to do custom flags, but we'll go ahead and show you that real quick. So again, we'll open up the zip. This one actually doesn't have a root, interestingly enough, so you can't just drag and drop it. So you're going to go into Space Warp. Here's your mods folder that was created when you booted the game. This will be our first Space Warp mod. So we're going to drag custom flags in there. And then in the root folder for custom flags, you need to create a new folder called flags. Okay. And then I've already got one made. The flags need to be 512 by 300 pixels, saved as a PNG. And so I've already got one created. It's boring. I created it just for this video. Creating a proper flag is on my to-do list. So that's dragged and dropped in there. And then when we get to the end and all the mods are installed, then we'll walk through and I'll show you the flag and the mod and how it works. So let's go ahead and grab the rest of these mods. So sticky orbit is another one I've really appreciated. Where are we at here? Sticky orbit markers. Okay, we'll grab that one. Two more. Maneuver mode. Maneuver node controller. And then if you see down here, install spaceport mod loader. So this is another spaceport. Okay. So we grabbed that one. And the last one, the most important one so far, no offense to any of the modders that watch this, and this isn't your mod. Stage info, proper staging thrust to weight ratio, delta V, the whole deal. All right, let's go back. We installed IVA. So sticky orbit, again, space warp. We could go into the file, into mods, sticky orbit markers, or from here, you could just drag and drop space warp. And you'll see custom flags is still there. Merge sticky orbit markers is there. Then maneuver node controller. This one's not, but it is a space warp mod. We're going to throw it in there. Space warp for stage info. We're already in here, so we'll go ahead and just throw it in there as well. That's it. All those mods are installed. So now let's go ahead and boot up KSP2. I will say with Space Warp, the nice thing about it, while this boots up, is you have that mods menu at the beginning. So when you install a mod and you first boot up the game, you don't need to get into the game to see if it's working or see if you installed correctly. You can actually click mods and you'll see custom flags, maneuver node, stage info, sticky orbit markers. Those are all there. With the BepInEx, which is only, what was that? The IVA. That was just the IVA and the plugin. We can't see that the IVA is working now. I'm positive the IVA will be working and we'll show you. So Alt M for this. And load into a game. This is the fun part, right? We get all the business out of the way. We get to look at these mods now. Now they're all quality of life other than the custom flags. That one's pretty cool content wise. I think they're actually getting pretty close to some vehicle parts. Again, I don't mod, so don't hold me to it. To access your, which one was it called? Stage info. It's Alt E, pulls up the stage info, and you see I don't have anything out there. So it's just going to show calculating. But we'll throw a pod down. Let's throw gas tank on it real quick, and then we'll throw an engine on there. Yeah. Why not? Let's throw a mainsail. Boom. So now you can see your stage, your thrust to weight ratio at each stage. You can choose whether it's sea level or vacuum. I think hopefully later on they'll add some selections for different planets. I don't know. We'll see. There we go. Stage mod works. The maneuver node will have to get out into space. Custom flags we could show you on the plot, and IVA will show you on the launch pad too. So, screw it. I don't need to come back down. Just launch. All right. Except for I'm not gonna be able to get back in here once I get out. So whatever. We'll just revert to landing. So let go. Hopefully I don't die jumping down here. Oh, okay. Cool, I didn't. I made a cool sound hitting the rocket though. Okay, so get that out of the way. Okay. Okay, boom. There's my custom flag. I'm gonna work on one for real. The custom flag works. Now let's revert to launch real quick so I can actually get back in. Okay. Spacebar wasn't working. Bring that down a little bit so it's not such a pain. I'll probably go fast forward through this anyways until we get into orbit. Okay. I think we're high enough now. Oh yeah, we got plenty of... Okay, so maneuver node. When you've started a maneuver and sticky orbit. I keep having there's so many of these now I keep forgetting the names. So create a maneuver plan, right? We can, once you create the maneuver planer up, the default one, you can click Alt N, and there you got a maneuver node controller now. So we can fine tune our maneuvers, get us into a solid, more solid orbit. So you can manually adjust how big of a step you want to take for each button. And then sticky maneuver. If you right click on the maneuvers, the apoapsis and the periapsis, it leaves them up. So now when you're creating it, those will stay on there. And you can easily see what both are going to be. It's freaking amazing. The whole hovering to see what it's going to be is gone. That was a pain in the butt. So both of those are really nice. And I just realized too, we didn't look at IVA mode. So let's get out of the map. Okay, you click C to go into IVA mode, same as KSP1. And boom. Now we've got the interior. Now, this isn't the modder's fault. This is the game's fault because it's not actually built in the game, right? There's definitely some bugs that need worked out, which is probably why it wasn't there at release, right? But now we get to see the interior of these super close up, and they did do a good job with all that. But one thing, for example, me turn us towards the sun here. All the interiors are transparent to the sun, so as you can see, sun still sits there. Now, again, I want to point out that is not the modders. That would be one of the reasons why the developers chose not to put IVA into the game at release. So there's still some work to be done with that. And eventually, right, especially more specifically IVA mode, is something that they will add in the game. And then at that point, the IVA mod won't be necessary anymore. But really cool though. So that was it. As far as the ones I'm using, now you know exactly where to install them, how to install both, first of all, and then if they're different, where to install each of the mods in the folder. I don't know if this is going to change in the future and centralize. I also don't know the status of CCAN for KSP2. CCAN might eliminate the need for all of this, but I have a couple things coming in the future. I'm going to continue to play around with these mods, right? And hopefully about once a week, at the rate we're going, about once a week, I'll post a video with new mods, testing them out, see how they work. That's going to be really exciting when we start getting parts coming in as a mod. And then I'm also one step away. I'm looking for the ability to add YouTube chat to live stream, first person, IVA only, VR, actually using the VR mod for KSP1, multiple missions. So I'm kind of waiting to figure out, doing some research to see if I can either get someone to, or get some sort of mod that would just pull up an HTML site on one of the screens for me to read chat. And then if I either determine that or get it there, we'll start doing that series. If not, it'll just be an offline series where I upload the videos. So lots of things coming. I'm super pumped. I stream. We're getting more to a consistent schedule, but I don't have a stream schedule yet. But definitely here, most recently, you'll see me in KSP1, KSP2. I definitely need more playtime in KSP2. Because the game, luckily, I've got a decent, newer computer, so it runs okay. There's still some issues, obviously, but both of those coming up. Super excited. We'll be doing some play tests of other games coming out pretty soon. So yeah, hopefully you stick around. Definitely 100% gonna stick with the mod videos, try and get you updates, compile some new mods to play around with and show you and test out. So definitely hit that subscribe button. If this helped you, hit the like button. Let me know in the comments. Again, other than the IVA mod, most of the mods are Spaceport, but I think that's probably going to change closer down the road. Or maybe we all stick with Spaceport and BepInEx isn't required anymore. I have no idea, but I'll definitely get that plugin link updated once it goes from a pre-release to a full release. And thanks for stopping in, guys. Again, hope this helped. I'll see you next time. I'm out.